The following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Jy Unplugged. Today, we're joined by Todd, Mr. President Bakes, an MMA fighter and a photographer who transitioned into Muay Thai after graduating from UB in 2021. Today, we'll discuss discipline, identity, creativity, and life beyond the cage. So, how are you doing today?
I'm feeling good. How are you?
I'm good. You're also a coach, right?
I am a coach,
You just came from coaching?
I did. I was coaching today, yep.
How was that?
It was good. I'm working with more like young kids now, so that's pretty fulfilling. And I'm starting to get some students who are actually really diving into it. Mm-hmm. So that's always enjoyable watching them improve.
And what is it that you coach?
Muay Thai.
Muay Thai? Okay. So for those who may not know you, can you tell us a little bit more about who Todd Banks is?
Yeah. So I grew up in Buffalo. Mm-hmm. Born and raised here. I ended up graduating from UB. I don't know. So yeah, I played football growing up, sports growing up. I'm really into like reading and video games and stuff like that, just regular stuff. And then yeah, after I graduated, I got heavy into fighting. Met my coach. He believed in me. So yeah, now 4 years later, I'm here.
How did you meet your coach, and what was the transition into fighting?
So they hired him 2022. So he's from Brazil, born and raised. So he just came here for this job.
Oh, wow.
He didn't speak any English. And I was there for a couple years before, and they didn't really have a solid coach. So I was kind of like there was no direction really. But yeah, he walked up to me and he was like, "Hey, you want to fight?" He couldn't really speak any English, but yeah. Honestly, I didn't want to. People used to ask me all the time. I was like, nah. But when he put me on the spot like that, I just kind of went with it. And then like a week later, he came in the gym. He's like, "All right, man, you're fighting in a couple months."
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So he really believed in you.
He saw something in me. I don't know what.
4 years later, do you kind of understand like why he saw something in you, and then do you like kind of get that feeling with kids that you're coaching now?
Yeah, for sure. I was talking to my student today, and I was telling them how like I'm new to coaching, mm-hmm. but I'm more experienced as a fighter, so I'm starting to see and learn certain things as a coach that I didn't see before. So I was there. I was already in good shape, so I think he saw like potential in me. I feel like I was so bad back then, but I don't know. He must have saw something.
How do you separate yourself as a coach and as an athlete?
How do I separate myself? What do you mean by that?
So, like, as a coach, you kind of have to be a leader and take initiative. And as an athlete, you're kind of the one that's being led by your coach. So, being that you have a coach, but you're also a coach, how do you kind of keep those two separate?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's actually difficult. Yeah. I view myself more as a fighter. Okay. So sometimes it's hard for me to like flip that switch. But I put myself in a mode where I'm giving these people my time, and I just want to give back to them. I want to pour into them. So that's what I get into that mentality, because usually I'm in fighter mode and I'm just trying to improve myself, and I'm very competitive. And then when it's time to coach, I have to flip that switch and be like, okay, this is all about them, and like, how can I help you? And then I have to like convey messages the right way, or explain something the right way. And it's not always easy, but
yeah. So I'm a cheerleading coach, and I actually just like had like a really hard talk with myself about just how to be a better coach, because sometimes, you know, we lack even as adults, and it's like better ways that you can approach situations. So I totally get what you're saying, and like how to convey a message. Like sometimes every kid learns differently, and you have to approach like the kids in a certain way so that they can learn and understand, because you could have learned something a different way than it's getting through to their head, I guess.
Yeah.
But
No, that's a good question though. How did you make that transition from cheerleading to coaching?
I was very young when I started coaching, so it was a little bit easier. I say it's actually getting hard for me now the older I get. So, like, when I started coaching, I was 19, turning 20 years old. So, I'm fresh out of high school. I'm still a teenager. I can relate to the kids easier. And I was still, like, I had just stopped cheering that year.
So you were 19 coaching like children or like teenagers?
Teenagers, yeah.
Okay.
So I believe I was a sophomore or junior in college when I started coaching. So yeah, I was still very close to the sport. Like I was still like I had just competed in my last competition like a few months ago, so I understood it a little better. Now I'm just turned 25 and I have, 15-year-old girls who they have that respect for me, but I also have to, I don't know. A lot of people tell me that I'm too nice and kids will take advantage of you being too nice, so I kind of have to learn how to, what's the word? Be more a little bit stern, but I don't like being stern. It's kind of hard for me. But sometimes like nothing will get done if there's no, sternness in sports. So when I first started coaching, I would be able to come in and every kid was listening to me. It was so easy for me to get the message across. And now I had practice yesterday and I was like, what the heck is going on here?
Well, and there's more pressure on you because you're the coach of a team. So you guys compete, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to get your team ready to compete, and that team's representing you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like individual. So if this person isn't trying to like compete or he's not really into it, then there's nothing like coming back against me. Like you have to get a team ready. Like you gotta be on top of them, making sure they're training hard.
And on top of that, I own the team, so that's
Yeah,
double the pressure.
Yeah, that's your work. That's what my coach says. Like that's your work. Like
Yeah.
He's like, this person wants to fight out of our gym, but he's not ready. And he's like, I'm not gonna just let them fight. We had a couple guys last year, a couple years ago, that left. They wanted to fight. My coach thought they weren't ready, and they got frustrated and left. They ended up, I'm not gonna say that, but he's like, yo, that's my work. Like I'm putting out a product, people see that, and that reflects on me. So it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I guess it's just kind of like a part of growing up and like you're learning yourself and then you're learning like what you're doing wrong and then you have to be teachable. Like you have to be teachable in order to be a coach. I think that you should be able to, learn from your athletes or your students as much as they learn from you.
Agreed.
So your nickname is Mr. President. How did that come about?
Shit, I don't know. I really don't know. It just happened one day. I think it's kind of like the way I like carry myself in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm always like talking to people, checking on them, seeing how they're doing, just kind of being like a leader there. And I don't even know who started it or how it took like form, but yeah, it just took on a life of its own. And now it's just people like, "What's up, Mr. President?"
I think someone, when we were out at one of the events, somebody called you Mr. President. I'm pretty sure.
No, I don't say that. That's crazy.
So did you always believe that MMA could become a career for you?
Never. Like I said, I never planned on fighting. So when I got there, like I said, the team was unorganized, but there were like, it's funny because my coach got there. We have like the new school fighters and like the old school fighters.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a bunch of guys that were there before who already fought, who got coached by a different coach. And they would always ask me like, hey, you're pretty good. Like, you want to fight? And I was like in college at the time. I was working. And I'd always say, nah. Like I'd never been around that. So I had no interest in it. It just seemed like a waste of time, to be honest with you. So, nah, I don't know. Yeah.
What's the best opportunity that MMA has presented you?
The best opportunity as far as what?
As far as like, have you been able to travel? Have you been able to meet people?
I would say that. I would say that's the best gift. Like I was in Thailand for 3 months, and I think like when I was in Europe for 2 weeks, I wasn't there with like a mission. I was just there traveling. But when I was in Thailand for 3 months, I was at one gym. and I was there for like a purpose. So it kind of gave me like a purpose, I guess. I've been to Thailand, Austria, and a lot of places like Los Angeles, Vermont, Albany, stuff like that. So yeah.
When you travel, do you see like a cultural shift between fighters? I'm sorry.
A cultural shift. So at a micro level, I do. So I'm extremely competitive. So I'm always looking at like, how does this person think, or how was this person coached? So like when I was in Austria, I had 30 teammates, and I got to see each of them with their coach. How prepared were they? How they fought? How they thought? So I do notice that a lot. Like even in Thailand, I'll meet someone that has like the same amount of fights as me, but maybe it's not the same. You could like I'm always grateful for my coach. My coach he was a UFC fighter, and then Brazilians they're crazy. So he's always like very, very tough. So I'm always grateful for how he prepared us. He definitely prepared us. I've seen like 100 different fighters, and I always feel like my coach is like a world-class coach, like truly.
I love that. So as a fighter, what keeps you disciplined in life?
I think the easy answer to that is you're putting your life on the line in there. So your best bet is to prepare the right way. That's the biggest part. But also, like, I want to perform my best. So every day I'm asking myself, like, how is my opponent training? Is he training more than me? Is he training smarter than me, more efficiently than I am? And that's how I keep my nerves, because I ask myself, do I believe that I train harder than this person? Did I put in more work than him? So, yeah, maybe just not trying to get dying there and actually win.
I actually just started boxing in December.
Yeah.
So I do know a little bit about. I didn't get to like the opponent's part, but like I did learn how important like training was, and like the trainer guy, he's like, you always have to like kind of know your opponent's next move. And it was hard for me to like catch on and stuff. Like I eventually got it after like 4 months. But you as a fighter yourself, do you have like quick reflexes, or did it take, or are you still learning your opponents when you're fighting?
Absolutely, like fast reflexes. I think that's one of my like best attributes. Is how quickly I respond. But am I always looking for his next move? Yeah, I think anticipation is the number one thing. So when I go out there, I try to get my reads, and yeah, I think that's probably the most important thing you could do is that anticipation. Know what's coming next, and it's almost like a dance where you're trying to manipulate them into certain stuff. So you're kind of creating those actions as much as you're reacting to them. If that makes sense.
That makes total sense. So with having to think quickly and sharply in the ring, I'm sorry. Do you think that has helped you outside of life, like with just say you get put in a certain situation and you already have that reflex or that mindset in the ring? Do you take that mindset outside of the ring?
I feel yes, but sometimes I feel like I wonder if the dopamine high is so much, or sometimes I feel like I'm like saving that. Like I always think of it like a switch. So like any other time, I'm kind of just flat. I'm just here, and then when the bell rings, it's a switch. And now all that turns on. So I feel like sometimes I'm just like out in the real world. I'm just here. I just try to stay here.
What makes you turn that switch on? Like, is there something like that caused like some aggression in your life, or is it just like, hey, I just wanted to get into fighting and now this is my career?
I feel like I describe it that way when I think back to when I played football. Because when I think after a game, I always feel like I just came out of like a different world. Like you're nervous, the first play happens, and then you kind of just like go into that zone. And for like 2 hours, however, you're just in that mode. You're just in the game. You're not thinking about anything else. Like my mom, like, you ain't hear me calling you? And like, nah, I'm locked in, you know? So I feel like I already felt that, to just that locked in. Like nothing else can distract you. And I kind of feel like I just have that same mentality in fighting. So I'm kind of chilling, trying to relax, stay calm, keep my adrenaline down. And then as soon as the bell rings, I'm just, boom.
How easy was it to, or what was the transition like from being a football player to becoming a MMA fighter? Was the training a little different?
I approach training the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to like work. I got better at training after football, actually.
Yeah.
I wasn't training the right way for football. But it's similar demands on your body. So it requires like short bursts of explosiveness similar to football.
Mm-hmm.
So football, you're going as hard as you can for 5 or 6 seconds, and it's kind of the same in fighting. So you go all out for a couple seconds, and then you catch your breath, and you go all out for a few seconds, and then you catch your breath. So it's very similar.
Sorry. Are there any major setbacks that you have had in fighting?
Yeah, I mean, last year my probably like one of my biggest fights, I tore my ACL.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still recovering from that. So I got surgery 7 months ago. That was difficult because I just feel like I was like on a roll, like 12-0, undefeated, just every fight. Like I fought in Thailand, moved up to a bigger promotion in Thailand, came back home, fought on the biggest promotion in probably the United States, against like my opponent 17-1, like 5-time amateur champion, becoming a pro, and then tear my ACL 15 seconds into the fight is crazy.
Oh my gosh. So what was your thought process the moment you like felt that and then they told you like, hey, your ACL is torn?
Honestly, it's kind of been tough. It's like everything you work for, I put like everything into this, like everything. I like 2-3 training sessions a day,
Mm-hmm.
and it almost feels like you don't know if it's over. So it's like a range of emotions. Like it's crushing, and like it feels like a weight of bricks on your chest just thinking about. You're thinking like, okay, what can I do now, or can I get back? So it hasn't been easy. Some days are easier than others because I try to have like good coping mechanisms
Mm-hmm.
and think positively about it. And it's getting easier now because I'm kind of moving like myself again, but every day's different.
One step at a time. So are you in physical therapy or like how does that recovery process work?
I wasn't physical therapy.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend getting a good physical therapist because like they kind of just gave me exercises
Mm-hmm.
and then I just did them on my own. No one watched. So at some point I was like, this is a waste of my time.
Mm-hmm.
I already have the knowledge to do all this. I just stopped going. So now I just do it on my own. I still rehab, do a lot of single leg work, but yeah, didn't make sense. I'm just going to this gym to do my own workout when I could just go to my own gym.
Right.
So, yeah.
When do you want to get back? When are you hoping to get back in the ring?
My coach says November.
Okay.
So he's like, man, come on, man. You have to be active. You can't be
Okay.
going for too long. So he says November. So that's the goal.
Okay. Well, I'm rooting for you. So, outside of boxing or MMA fighting, you are also a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you become a part of that life?
I was at UB at the time. I think my boy Quan was a photographer. Shout out to Quan. I just had an interest in it.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to pick up a new hobby. Went on Facebook Marketplace, got a camera. And then, like I said, my boy, he was doing it. So I linked up with him a bunch. And it kind of just grew from there.
Okay. What was it like the first moment that you like took a picture? Were you good and you were like, okay, I can keep doing this? Or did you have to practice a little bit more?
I definitely practiced a lot. I had to spend like a lot of time on YouTube, like studying like ISO, shutter speed, aperture, then trying to learn how to edit. Yeah, so definitely like a lot of hours of practice.
Yeah. What would you say your favorite shot has been so far, or your favorite? Do you do events?
Yeah, I do events.
What has been your favorite event?
So my favorite shot would probably be my boy Cam's wedding.
Mm-hmm.
I thought those came out very well. So as far as those shots, those are my personal favorite. As far as events go, definitely the Young Entrepreneurs of Color Awards. I'm really passionate about like African American issues and African American history. Like I'm studying that like at least damn near every day. Just reading like W.E.B. Du Bois, like Malcolm X, people like that. So to like, first of all, I was there when it first started. So now to like see it grow, and I don't know like when you became aware of it, but now people are like,
The Young Entrepreneurs of Color Awards.
yeah.
Um, I would say I became aware of it in 20. When did it start? 2021.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I became aware of it in 2022 because that's when a few people from, I think people from Niagara Falls have always been selected, but more people that I knew were selected in 2022. And honestly, the sitting at that award ceremony, I would tell everyone, like, I felt like I won a Grammy.
For real?
Like, the whole process of it was just like we were standing outside, all of the honorees were standing outside, and there were like African dancers in front of us, and we walked up behind the dancers, and then when we walked in, there was like this movie playing on the screen, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy. And then they started playing all the music when all of us were like on the stage. That was like, I always say this, so shout out to Rob and the whole Young Entrepreneurs of Color Awards. I'm stuttering, but that was the best experience of my life. Like,
Damn.
the pitch, were you at the pitch contest?
I don't think so.
The pitch contest. So like, I did the pitch. The pitch was so bad. It wasn't bad, but like, I went to go talk, and like my hands I had a paper in my hand to present my pitch, and my hand started like shaking so bad.
Wait, so the pitch was to see who won, who got the award?
No, there was a pitch contest. So like, you pitch your business, and then you receive funding from the pitch contest. So the pitch contest was open to anyone who had a business. It wasn't just solely for the honorees.
I did not know that. Okay.
That was one of the best experiences of my life. So my goal by the end of this year is to take a public speaking class because I need to get better at my public speaking. But yeah, I'm also very passionate about African American history. Like, I think every conversation I ever have always ends up being about African American history. It's just, I think more people need to be informed on it. So I agree with you there, but
no, misinformation is rampant.
Yeah.
In our own community and in other communities about our history, the current state of. I'm not gonna get into it, but anyways, but to watch his like event grow and to see like the way people are like talking about it, it's became like an established thing. It's weird. So I'm just grateful to be a part of that.
And you are like one of the main photographers for that event, right?
I don't know about that. I'm there every year though.
You're the main photographer for that event.
I wasn't there last year. I was in Thailand last year. But unfortunately, hopefully I can be there next year.
Okay. So do you see any similarities between MMA and photography?
Maybe the creativity part of it. Maybe for me, like when I'm thinking about it, I think like a photography in like a creative sense. You get a chance to get like the creative juices flowing.
Mm-hmm.
MMA not as much because yes, there's an artistry to it, and you're expressing yourself. But a lot of people don't understand that it's a sport. So and you understand this. There's a physical aspect to it. You can have the most creativity and the most knowledge and have the most techniques in the world, but if you physically can't impose your will on someone else, they're not going to work.
Okay, that's a little intriguing. So how do you learn how to physically impose your will on someone? Like, does that take a lot of training?
Yeah, so a lot of it's psychological.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also physical. You have to prepare your body the right way. So, like, I was in Thailand, and I'm at one of the most legendary gyms of all time. Muay Thai was born in Thailand. This gym is legendary. I've been there like 100 years, and they were training like old school. Like, they have their fighters going on 7-mile runs every day.
Okay.
And I don't want to give the sauce because I feel like fighting is behind in exercise science. So it's been a big advantage of mine. Like, if you put on any tape,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm like the more explosive fighter,
Mm-hmm.
the faster fighter, the more athletic fighter. And I credit that to like just like my training style. Like people are doing like they're gonna run, they're gonna do push-ups, sit-ups, but me it's speed, power, agility. So Monday's power, like heavy lifting, heavy squats, heavy deadlift, and most fighters are against that. But I'm like, yeah, this is how you build power. And then Wednesday it might be box jumps, plyometrics, working on that explosive first step. And then Friday might be like sprint speed, like really training my fast twitch muscle fibers. So it's in the preparation. I hope no fighters are. I do want fighters to do this because it's gonna increase the level of the sport, and I'm gonna get more competitive fights. But I'm enjoying having a little bit of advantage in that.
So you have the secret recipe. That's why he's Mr. President, you guys. That is the answer right there. I just realized I never asked. Can you explain a little bit about Muay Thai? Like, what is it?
Yeah, so Muay Thai is different from mixed martial arts in the sense that there's no fighting on the ground.
Okay.
So Muay Thai is a strictly standing art, so you have to stay standing. It's very similar to kickboxing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's punches and there's kicks, but Muay Thai adds elbows. There's a lot of elbow strikes. Elbows actually score the most. So if someone's a good elbow fighter, typically scores higher than boxing strikes. But there's an elbow component and there's a standing grappling component. So in MMA you can take them down and you're grappling on the ground. In Muay Thai you're grappling on the feet. So you're trying to control biceps, their head, and you're trying to set up elbow strikes or sweeps. So you can sweep them to the ground. You can't throw them, but there's sweeps are big. You can't sweep in kickboxing. You can't clinch in kickboxing. So if you grab in kickboxing, you have to release. So it's similar to kickboxing, but it's different in the sense that there's elbow strikes, there's clinching, and there's sweeps. But then obviously punches and kicks as well.
Okay, and what's the protective gear for Muay Thai?
In Thailand, there's none ever, which is great.
What?
Yeah.
So you guys are just fighting?
Straight paw, just 8-ounce gloves.
Oh my.
But here it's kind of whack in New York. In Michigan, you don't need protective gear at all for amateurs. But here, for amateurs, first 2 fights, no elbows at all. Then after that, as an amateur, you get the elbow pads on, and then you can get your shin guards off. So there's shin guards, first 2 fights, headgear, and then after 2 fights, you lose the headgear, you put on the elbow pads, and you lose the shin guards. So you just have gloves and elbow pads.
Wow. Have you ever taken an explosive hit?
Yeah. When I was in Thailand, I won the first round. So I'm fighting like this 6'4" English guy, and we trained next to each other for 2 weeks. So I was like, I know everything he's about to do. He just wants to throw elbows. So I won the first round, and I was like, okay, I've been moving away a lot. Let me try to just stay here, and let me just stay here and to see if I can mix it up like in the pocket. As soon as I did that, I caught an elbow like right behind my head.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? And I had a giant lump on my head for like 2 weeks after that.
Oh my gosh. See, no, I can't do the fighting. I can't.
I mean, you boxing now. You about to get into it.
Boxing is solely for exercise.
That's what I said.
It is my cardio. That's all.
That's what I said.
So between fighting and being a photographer, which side do you feel is more natural to you? Or is there a balance between the both?
Definitely fighting. I've always played sports. Photography is low key. I'm not super comfortable with it sometimes. Like,
really,
I struggle with the editing. I don't know. I love it, but fighting comes natural.
Okay.
Like, when like the bell rings, it's just like a job. You just like going to work.
So photography is more so like your hobby, and boxing is more so your job.
Yeah.
Okay. And with I don't know why I keep saying boxing. I'm sorry.
That's cool.
With Muay Thai, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, I see myself professional world champion, either WBC world champion or one championship, one world champion, RWS one champion. But I definitely see myself like competing against like the very best in the world and trying to make a run at a world championship for sure.
And in that time frame, what are you going to be doing to make sure that you achieve that goal?
The biggest thing is taking like tough fights. It's finding the toughest fights I can get, because if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. So I was already on my way. Like my last fight, he was one of the best amateurs in the country. He's making his pro debut. So like those are the fights I'm looking for. So when I get healthy, I'm just gonna keep trying to climb the ladder, trying to get bigger names until they gotta give me a shot.
Does your coach help you find your fights, or like the gym?
Yeah, the
And
coach.
then like how is that done? Is there like a special outlet for it, or do you guys kind of just like contact other gyms?
It's pretty informal. So there's like a promoter who
Mm-hmm.
promotes the fights. So he owns the promotion. So like for example, I was fighting for Warriors Cup. There's a promoter. His job is to make fights. So he
Mm-hmm.
contacts my coach. What fighters do you have for me?
Mm-hmm.
He says I got Todd, and then he's like, this is his experience, or they know me by then, and then they're like, okay, I have
Todd,
this
Mr. President.
guy. They're like, yeah, that guy. No. But yeah. So he works with the promoters.
Okay.
So he's a coach and a manager. He's a busy guy.
Oh man. Okay. Well, I'm excited to see what you do in the future. So your next debut is in November. We'll all be rooting for you.
Appreciate it.
Before we wrap up, is there anything that you want to tell us to be on the lookout for when it comes to Muay Thai, or just leading back to your recovery?
Nah, just I'm hoping I can fight in Buffalo soon. I haven't been here in a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm training hard to get back, so yeah, just be on the lookout for that. Hopefully, I can get back in my hometown fighting.
Okay, and then just tell us all where to find you on social medias, please.
Facebook Todd Banks, TODDBANKS. Instagram TODDD 3Ds Banks. Yeah, I'm most active on Facebook, Instagram.
Okay, thank you so much for coming. This was
Thank
such
you.
a great conversation. That was another episode of Jy Unplugged, and that is a wrap.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. That was good.